Notice is here back here that the governing body of the above authority will be attending a regular meeting to be held on Wednesday, the 4th day of December 2018 at 6 p.m. at City Hall, Asherton City Hall, building located at 1001 Carter Street, Asherton. At which time the following subject will be discussed to it. Call to order. Lord Barraza.
Here.
Mr. Bustamante Jr.
Here.
Next Jr. Here. Mr. Khan. Resolution.
With allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comments, Ricardo Bustamante Jr. Martinez, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I just wanted to show, well, first of all, thank you for your time. A filter that my parents took out from the house. And first of all, it's not to bash anybody, it's just a concern. Hopefully y'all have the time to look into it. These filters, it's a filtration system that they have outside their house. And they're meant to last about 6 months. And they took it out in about 2.5 months. And it's supposed to be all white. And well, that's how it came out. So I don't know if there's more issues, maybe recent issues with the water. I'm glad that the filter caught all this. It seems like it's rust, and everything in there is kind of sludgy. So I don't know. It's just so y'all can look into it maybe as a concern, because I know there's a lot of people that maybe can't afford to have the filter all this stuff, and just a concern because that might be stuff that the people are drinking.
Yeah, I think because the work that's being done, maybe I think it's had to do something to do with this. We had a lot of complaints about the water
Yes, sir.
coming out dirty, and well, right now the sewer project already started, and the pipeline is already started, right?
Yeah,
So hopefully, I can tell you a time frame, so very soon everything I put together, we gotta get really good results.
Yes,
And I'm sorry about this, but
No, yeah, and it's just so y'all can be aware of what's going on. I mean, I know.
we had complaints about,
Okay.
no, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. I was hoping it was just an isolated incident. That way maybe they could fix it. But because I know sometimes with like steel pipes,
Yeah.
you got rust, but they're all PVC pipes or plastic pipes. So I don't know where the rust, because it looks like it's rust. I don't know where it could be coming from. So I just want y'all to be aware of what's going on, and hopefully, put into
Take
your,
care of it, yeah.
exactly, look into it, because it's for the citizens.
I know that mine is, I'm sorry to say that I had some water running the other day, and it came out, not that dark, but it came out that reddish colored. So I said, okay, we've had it before. Let's hope now with this project that we're going through that will take care of the matter. We don't know yet because the work is not completed yet, but I can't wait to find out when it does, are we finally going to be cleared as far as our water issue is concerned.
Okay. So y'all have a project going on trying to fix it already?
Yes,
Okay, good,
yeah,
good.
hopefully,
Because right now that water project is scheduled to finish in the end of January.
Okay.
Like you all know, like 2 weeks ago we had no water on Thursday, and
Yeah, no.
tomorrow again there's not gonna be water. They're
There's
having to shut off the town didn't have shut off valves around town, and they're having to do all that. But by the end of January they should be finished, and after that should not happen.
Okay.
And if that happens, we got a big problem.
Exactly.
Or that should not happen again.
All right, hopefully. Okay, well, thank you for your time.
And just be prepared that there's no water tomorrow again, okay? Just
Okay.
be prepared. I don't know if the voice will be let out, but for sure. I already have my water ready for tomorrow.
Okay, from what time to what time?
8 to 5.
8 to 5?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
All right, thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much for your concern,
Yes.
which is all of our concerns too, okay?
Susan, you don't think Carlos or Ian can take a look at that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Leave it here.
Mr. Martinez.
Yes.
You might sit here for regards to,
The water operator,
Yeah,
and then
water
you can take a look at it.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
I got no use for it anyway. I wanted y'all to see it.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay.
Ramon Gomez,
No, I'll forgo my comments. Thank you.
Mr. Martinez.
I'm just gonna say two things that I wanted to talk about very quickly, because I'm gonna have to go to a church function. I wasn't here for the last meeting for the presentation for the grant or proposal.
Oh, I was in, Zamora and,
But I understand that you were asking for opinions or
yeah,
Comments.
Yeah, for the residents, yeah.
yeah, from the residents, but
Yeah,
I wanted to get it right now if I could, you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
why not?
Very quickly, I just wanted to say, on this section of town, there is a great need for a lift pump, because most of us over here on this side have lift pumps ourselves, we're paying for those. Whenever they run out, it's about a $2,000, $3,000 cost every time you have to get a new pump.
Entonces así que voy a take care of these, no?
No,
The submersible pumps, they put an order some time back, that the residents that needed one of those submersibles, they would be, yeah, the city would only provide the first 3,000, that's it. And then they would, if it ever broke or maintenance wise, they would also be.
they only have about a year or two warranty on those, so after that you have to buy a new one. But anyway, if they would put one on that section, that would take care of all that section, even across the highway. If you would put a lift pump and connect the other part of town. So I was just suggesting is that one of the things to suggest. The other one was, I think it's a good idea to connect this tower with the tank that we have over there, where the old tower is.
Yeah.
If we can connect that one, that would help out with the pressure, and anytime you shut the water out, you still have water on the other
It's
side.
on the work, huh?
That was
Yeah, there was a.
that was part of the proposal
Oh,
when
okay.
They presented it to us,
Yeah.
they said that we, como si dicen, join.
Yes,
Yeah.
because of the pressure, you can get water on the
Yeah.
other side, and
It would be better.
if you cut out the water, you will still have water for the rest of the city on the other
That's why
side.
the
Because
new levels are.
Because you cut it out right here where the family dollar is, we don't have any water on that side of town.
No,
Yeah,
See, that's why I was saying, that's
and that's
connected.
why,
it would add an additional line, because there's
Yeah.
only one main line running over there, and that's it.
So, I was just wanting to make those two suggestions, and that's it.
thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. It doesn't mean that we can't take care of it, we'll look into it, Ms. Martin, believe me.
No, but I
Anything for you guys, the citizens, you taxpayers, the community.
Okay, consideration and appropriate action to advertise for engineering services or application, reservation event contract implementation service for 2019, 2020, CXC DVG funds.
That's the actual, the public hearing is in connection with those with that grant money, and to.
Yes,
sir.
Good afternoon, name's Cabral Lugoria, I work with Middle Rio Grande Development Council, and I don't know if Mr. Martinez was talking about giving comments for that public hearing that we had a
Yes.
couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's
The only reason I missed, I'm sorry, it was because I thought it was gonna be on a Wednesday, and it was on a Tuesday, and that's why I missed it. Sorry about that.
Okay,
And we were here, Mr. Monte was here, Mr. Zamora was here, and they did bring up that concern about the connection of the water, connecting those water tanks, because that had been a previous contract that we had tried to get through CDBG grants. And this year, I had to make the city aware that they have some monies available. It's $225,000 that's available to the city to go ahead and apply for something. So when we had the public hearing, that's one of the things that came up. So that's why we got this agenda item on here, so we can go ahead and procure for engineering services to see what's going to be needed to go ahead and do something here in the city. And that's just permission to go ahead and advertise, procure for the engineering services. I don't know if you want a bit of background as to how this money came about, because we have a regional agreement to where every county gets, the 9 counties in our region get monies. This was an exceptional year because Maverick County had applied for some monies where Maverick County and City of Eagle Pass applied. So instead of just one of them applying, they both applied. So I kind of took out some of the monies for the region. But this year they agreed to go ahead and let City of Asherton and the City of Ensenada go ahead and share those $450,000, which makes it $225,000 per city, to go ahead and do something for their communities. And the reason for that was because at the last cycle, the City of Asherton and the City of Ensenada got disqualified because their applications were not up to speed. So that's why they gave us a chance. So that's why we're asking for that chance to go ahead and I'm asking for to go out and procure for engineering services. I just need permission so we can go ahead and start the process to go ahead and get the application going.
So we need a motion to go ahead.
Mayor's motioning to approve for Mr. Conrad to move forward with the TXCDBG grant. Second? Ms. Garza seconds, everybody in favor say aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay. Consideration of preparation to submit for administrative services using PDA Phase 2 solicitation process for 2019-2020 TXD system.
Yes, sir. It's the same, but this is for the administration portion of it. And the state of Texas, the TDA already has a process in place we don't have to advertise.
Okay.
We just go ahead and do what they call a phase 2 solicitation, and we just have to select 3 firms that do this work, which they've already applied through the TDA. We just have to get the list and send them that if they want to respond to that RFQ, so they can administer the grant.
Okay, I want you to.
Mayor motions to approve the
Yes,
administration
yes.
services. Ms. Garza seconds, everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And I'll start process with Mr. Zamora and just
Okay.
get the information that they need to go and advertise.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Junior Jackson.
Okay, discussion action to proceed with third collection in January 2019. Yeah,
That was one of the months that was chosen.
Yeah,
For the tax collection, January.
and we only have one applicant, right?
Well, one applicant that considers just temporary, any type of work. Yeah, just one applicant.
Oh, we actually were advertising for.
No, just,
He just randomly.
he just came and said that he was, if we had any temporary, not part-time, just something where he could just, apply for maybe a week or 2 weeks of work. You know, I said, well, I told him, we don't have anything like that, we don't have a program. He doesn't have a program where, we hire temporary workers, you know, for a week or 2. But I did tell him that we are considering in hiring Nader for a tire collection service. And yeah, that's gonna be temporary. I mean, it's just gonna be depending on the success of how this is all gonna work out. So he said if we had enough, I mean, if he could apply for that, I said, well, yes, I mean, we don't discriminate, yes. So he, you know, that's one applicant that just applied for such a job. So, I mean, January's around the corner, I don't know if you.
So,
Have you decided on a day or a week or what is it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
that's the second week.
But it'll be sometime in January.
Yes.
So it's gonna be for 3 weeks in a row, or what is it?
Well, we have, it's based, the grant money is based on the trailer. So we have enough money to get 2 trailers. It depends on the success. Let's say that it starts sometime in January. We have up to a month to utilize that trailer. If it happens that in a week we fill it up, then I have to call and they have to pick it up, and that's one already. So in other words, this I don't know how it's gonna work because, I mean, the trailer could fill up in days, in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I mean, who knows? But as soon as the trailer gets filled up, then yeah. If it doesn't get filled up in a month, they have to come and pick it up. And however many tires there are in there, that's just what they have to take. So it just depends. And that applicant knows that, you know, when he came in, I said, it's not a guaranteed job where you're gonna work, it's gonna be a whole month, work. It may be a few days work, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, I mean, it just depends. And he said, that's fine. I mean, it didn't matter. It didn't matter what it was. You know, all he cared for was just to be, whatever work, he could get. So that's how it works.
Yeah, because we had agreed, to proceed because the community has a need for this,
Yeah.
especially for all these tires they picked up. So I make a motion for and proceed with the tire collection.
I make also to proceed, but with the same terms that we had
Yeah.
agreed. On the same terms that we.
And the hiring and, I mean,
On the king.
well, he's the only one that came as like,
I see.
as temporary and just, looking for work as, however, you know, whatever date. He was just looking for days, week, 2 weeks.
We got some applicants there, right, and I got the list, but I don't know about those.
But the item is only
Not
to proceed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
To proceed, so that was just
Okay,
giving him
okay,
permission
okay,
to proceed. So Ms.
yeah.
Garza motions, Mr.
Yeah.
Bustamante seconds, everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Well, under the same terms that we agreed last time.
Under the same controls.
Yeah. Okay, update on speed limit sign, City Commissioner Eric Bustamante Jr.
Every time I put an update on the agenda, it's because it's something that was approved many months ago and it still hasn't been done or started or finished. And it just was to ask the city manager Zamora what's going on with the speed limit signs it's already going on 4 months.
It's actually almost complete. Done. Maybe just,
Yeah, we have one on our street.
I think that's the only one I see.
already.
Right there,
So
listen.
could be 18
Now,
signs.
yesterday I saw it for the first time and I was turning the corner and I go, oh my God, and I'm going 30, okay. And I
It's
go,
20.
there's no policemen around.
He will be around.
And there were other cars in front of me that were doing just as much as I was 30, so,
Both of you guys.
yes. Right, sir? No, I like.
So what's the
You know
update?
why, Mr. Bustamante? Because on my streets, like I said, the cars go by really, really fast.
There's almost an accident there in the street.
Yeah, so. Austin, yeah, that you was saying Austin.
Yeah.
There's five
They
streets
haven't
that were
been
put.
completed yet, but there's gonna be one in this.
How many have been,
So do you have any time frame of like when this is gonna be?
Completion, they're more than halfway, I think, completed. Some of the pipes, they
some,
just need a few signs just placed on those.
Do they have the tools they need, everything they need to install?
They did a real good job on the one on my street, Alex. Yeah, they did.
I saw it from far away, it was nice.
They did a good job.
But those are there's 5 streets that were included in that ordinance, so that's what they're working on.
Who puts the one on Diaz? Stop sign.
No, one of the employees that replaced, I don't know who it was.
There's stop sign there.
I haven't done that.
Pretty good.
That was good.
I haven't been through that road yet. I would have to go through it.
okay, what else?
No, that's it.
Okay, discussion, action to install a gate on the southwest side of the new
Skip one.
City
No,
Hall.
you skipped one.
What?
The discussion to
Oh, yeah, oh,
purchase.
yeah, to purchase children at paid signs, night zero, right? I still say we need some children paid signs over by like housing. There was one accident during the holidays, over in Austin Street, I mean. The only two.
Where did you say you wanted it? At the project?
Yeah, one of the project, and the other over by DS Street. I wanted to get it by your street, because there's a lot of kids playing there, but there's still soon for now. We can already approve it, but Alec can buy it in agreements and you both restricting yourself, well, you. So I say, we do need it.
For anyone that wasn't here last month, this item was on the agenda last month also. And we agreed that the children at play signs, we already had them in the most important places in town, which was the park. And
So you mean to
And
tell me
we-
that housing over here where the kids live is not important?
no, I'm not saying.
Yes, you say?
And we agreed that we're missing a lot of stop signs and we're gonna take the direction of installing stop signs instead of the children at play signs in streets where there's no parks or no schools. And that's what we stayed at last month. But the
Does that mean that does that mean that the children have the right of way, they can play and the cars have to
No, sir,
stop?
but it means for the, let's say I'm driving, I see a sign for the children, my video, I slow down. Maybe it can cause an accident. Because the other day, over in the street, they almost hit a kid on that street. I was called, and over here by housing, when they're getting out the bus too. So that's my concern, the children.
Yeah, I remember we had spoke about Dia Street, that there's no school, no park. There are 2 basketball rims right beside the street. And we felt like by putting a children at play sign there, we're giving them permission to play basketball in the middle of the street. And that's why we were against doing that in that street.
No, you were against it, no one was in favor, and then you came and tell her to take herself, and she did. That's what happened.
No, it's right. It's like opening Pandora box. Here we are, we're letting our kids do whatever they want to do, wherever they want to do it. That's not right. They have to follow guidelines. There's got to be rules. They have to follow. Now, he just said something about wanting one at the projects because the kids are getting off the bus. That's not a playground area. Everybody has to get off the bus in different parts of town. Does that mean we're going to put signs all over town because kids are getting off the bus and they have to be careful?
Like kids play after school, they go out and play. Like you used to play when you were a kid, I was a kid, everybody was a kid. Everybody used to play outside. And it's an hour, whatever.
As far as I know, in the projects, the playground is inside the projects, not by the street, it's inside in the middle,
Yes,
the
that's right.
playground. So it's not
But
over
you
here.
mean to tell me they don't go outside like over there, your kids and the other kids, I see them in the street playing.
Oh, my kids, they know better. They're not allowed to play in the street.
You're not always there.
They're not allowed to play in the
You're not
street.
always, oh, yeah. You know what I mean?
The street is not the place to.
Okay, well, so what, you want to do that again?
I say we don't take any action on this purchase right now.
Want to table it or what?
I second the motion.
No action. Ms.
No
Garza said no action. Mr. Bustamante, no action. Everybody in favor say aye.
Mm.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, action to install a gate up. Let me just say something. There's a lot of commercial on TV that where a lot of people come out and say you need to let your kids play at least 1 hour a day outside. It can benefit her, but I'm saying kids go outside and play in the street. You can hold them, not to play. They're gonna play outside regardless. That's why in school they give you what, 7 hours to play in the recess?
Not even 15 minutes. Not even 15 minutes sometimes.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think that's the
But
most.
they play inside in the playground, they don't play in the street.
Of course they did. You're gonna let your kids play outside in the street? They're in school, they go play inside the priority. I think the skier, they're gonna play regardless, the parents, outside. Let's say 20, 15, 20 minutes or half an hour. You can be letting them play outside.
Yeah. Makes sense.
You can do it in-
Yeah, it's a motion.
Okay, election to install gate on southwest side of New City York, Merrimack City, New York. We need a gate over here in New York, on the in the corner, so they can use the lane here, the lane next there. Right now, you block it all, you didn't think about putting a gate there, so But sometimes the employees, they use it to go, like, when they're, those on the street are dead, they go there, they dig a hole, and they put it there. So now they can do,
And back of the gate, that's considered an alley. That's a street, that's an alley, that's where they
over
go.
here, but inside. Inside.
Yeah, there's space to go through.
Hmm?
Right now, we're in the process of moving into this new city yard, and I don't-
But I would, other things, I mean,
so where do you, it's in the front, not in the
no,
front,
in the back.
in the back.
Do you have a picture of this to show us?
No, but, well, it's a, como, es el que viene. Esta es la yo right, acá. Aquí está el para acá, donde está el street. Aquí la gate, like this.
Where's our gate where we're going in right now?
Here.
And you want one on the side?
Yeah, over here, wait there. Okay, okay, we're gonna,
I don't know, because maybe we already, we did what we were told to do when Mr. Jaime came and did his layout for us. We didn't question it as far as how many gates he was gonna have. This time, they've been living off that little yard that they have right there. Now they have a humongous one gate, one entrance.
yeah, but this.
I would have to hear from the employees, the men themselves and see, do they?
They can use the site for the,
I'm all about loss prevention, and by having another gate towards the back, that's another entrance for somebody to break in. I would say right now, it'll be best to hold on this. Let's see how if we're able to manage with just the front gate. Later on, if there's issues coming out that we need a second gate, we'll bring it back.
Yeah.
But for right now, I say it'll be best to hold off on it, and let's work with that first gate that we installed right now, and let's see how it goes.
I agree.
So, motion. Mr. Bustamante, motions. No action?
No action, until we look into it later on and see how it's working. With one gate, maybe we need to add another one. We'll do that as time permits.
Ms. Garza, second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
name.
Motion carries.
Okay, the discussion action to paint children logo on water tower located 14th Street. There's been a lot of concerns, why the logo was over to be the bottom portion. And like I said before, Alec made the decision, nobody didn't approve it.
No, don't say I didn't approve it. I was not here when they made the final
Right.
presentation as to the
Right.
changes
No.
that we're going to incur.
When we agreed,
Words in my mouth.
when we agreed, the three of us was gonna be in top. And then he came
We
and-
never agreed that when we agreed to put it on top, you weren't even here at that meeting. We already spoke about this last month. You were not, that was a meeting that you missed. It was only me and Ms. Garza that were here. And we wanted it on top. We even approved to put it on top. But the following months, when the painting company that was gonna put it on top, that's what they do for a living. They came and they told us,
You took it upon yourself.
No.
Yes,
You-
did you agree, no?
you had the
I wasn't
opportunity.
here.
Someone called you to
I
come.
was in the office.
Yeah, they called you to come and you
No,
refused to
no,
come.
no.
You
You
refused
know
to
why?
come.
Because it was covered. Someone not with
It
it.
was just for information.
No. So you
Someone
took it upon yourself to change it.
he even sent you a message that you had until the next day at 10 in the morning to,
No.
if you had any concerns, and you still didn't bring
You
no
took it upon
concerns.
yourself and changed it. No one doesn't agree.
We want to hear what the painters told you.
Yeah.
The painter,
What did
yes,
they say?
the painter said that if, our water tower is very unique compared to anybody else. It's like everybody, you all know, it's the diamond shape. He said if you put it on the top, on the top part, which is like facing up, he said you're gonna have to be in a helicopter to be able to look at the design at the Trojan Lake. He said if you put it on the bottom part, you're gonna have to be actually down there looking at look up and you'll be able to see it, but from here from the city hall, or our focus was like here, the Highway 83. People that are driving into town, you wanna be able to see the water tower, see what it says. He said, you're not gonna be able to see it. You're gonna be able to see that something's there, but it's gonna be blurry. He said, and he even gave us some little demonstrations. The tape is still there, that little demonstration he put. He took us around town to show us how far
He only took you.
because you refused to
No,
come.
I was here, yeah, somewhere I found the town, I was like, wasn't it in the office?
But see, what happened here was, Mr. Silva, if, okay, I wasn't here, but if you could have come to that meeting regardless of your feelings or whatever, and looked at whatever the man had to offer or show you, the engineer, and maybe two heads sometimes are better than one.
They told me they can make the decision, and they was, what he said, they
But
was.
you weren't here.
I was happy.
And the engineer, he said, you know what, I could do it. The painter, he said, I'll do it however y'all want it. I'm just letting you know from the expert advice from him that if y'all don't like it, it's gonna cost money to remove it. It's not gonna be removed for free.
No, it's like about 50 to 20,000 dollars.
So I took the advice. Someone was here. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. I took the advice from the experts. He said if you put it on the bottom, you'll be able to have Asherton higher, and when you're coming into town, you're gonna be able to read the whole Asherton. Because even if you put the Trojan on the pole, you would have to lower Asherton lower, and you're not gonna be able to see the last 4 letters of Asherton. So that was the best way to do it.
No, they were three places.
So now that it's been done, now the mayor don't like it, and that's why
No,
he's
it's not, it never really, the people, a lot of people.
I haven't heard of complaints besides only
Yeah,
the two
they
ladies.
told you at ATV, you went to a vet, and they don't recognize you.
No.
Okay, Tony, there's a.
What do you suggest? That they repaint it or what?
No, the people, you mentioned the people.
But what did you say was the cost?
15 to 20,000. I'm gonna estimate from them. I am.
How much? 15 to 20,000 to paint it.
Just for the
So that
children?
would mean, water main.
And right now, we had to go up on the water rates, and a lot of people are not happy about it, and by having expenses on something like this,
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
for sure the water rates are never gonna go down.
Yeah.
No action,
Is that no action?
yeah.
Motion Mr. Martin, no action, everybody in favor say aye.
Nay.
Motion carries.
Discussion action on the stolen cemetery gate, Santa Monica, what did you think about?
I told you I wanted something that I could see, visual, nobody made anything.
I brought you last time, I brought you the picture, and I brought you the numbers and
I
everything.
didn't see it.
I don't know if you guys still have it in your records, or but.
No, I don't have it in my
Remember,
folder that I
I
had last
brought you
month.
the picture about, and,
Okay.
Okay, draw a quick one, like right now, can you draw, just another one, show me, possible enough?
but the only problem is, since we waited an extra month, I don't know, is that guy still gonna be willing to do it? The one that gave us the code?
Again,
Is it two quotes?
one was 600.
No, because the one that was gonna do it, he's the one that did the new one, the one that's right beside it, so it was gonna be matching gates.
Oh, Tony usually stays the same.
Yeah, matching.
Yeah. So, over here, if I wrote it in a group.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, I'm
I don't know how to look at that.
Okay, so me dan tantito, like.
Como está la-
Tutorial is right
The
here.
other fence,
So, over here,
Como
you're
unos
gonna
20
get a
yards.
gap here.
about 20 yards.
Oh, okay, I know, the one that's by your house, Alex, right? Or-
Yeah, the big one, but,
Yeah.
But the same as the one that's over there in front of Alex's house.
this is the one that's by the house.
Just the middle part, look at the middle part,
Look,
just the middle,
but it's just gonna be just the metal part on the front.
just the measure.
Oh, okay.
It's not gonna be the whole frame all around.
I'm gonna put a gate.
And then that one.
So for sure, our cemetery is expanding that way?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And that one, we were not planning on having it open only on during holidays or funerals, since there's people that live around, so there won't be a lot of traffic going by.
Yeah, because I've looked at it, it would be good for her.
Okay, so you have a quote and he has a quote, Alex, too? You have both?
No, I don't know. The quote I have is the one that's the matching for this one.
How much was it?
We had it, I think it was, I don't remember, was it 800 or 900?
Just about the same.
But I know we have the funds there.
Yeah.
It's not gonna, we're not gonna have to take out from another account to.
Well, we're supposed to go with the lowest bidder, it's correct, isn't it?
Well, yeah, well, in the first one, we didn't have any bids.
I hope so.
I mean,
It only fits in this amount of $50,000.
Yeah.
I always believe it, if you wanna do something, do it right. And right now, that would be,
600.
He's saying 600.
Oh, all right then.
but his bid, you don't have it, I have it in paper, my bid, I don't know if his bid's not even,
I know you pick it
where's the bid?
up. I know you have it.
Yeah, it was presented last month, so I should still have it in your records
I
or
didn't
office.
see it. I didn't see it.
Should be before.
Yeah.
Did you see
That's
it?
not-
I don't have
You can go and get it, or you should have the picture.
So yours would be the same, exactly like Alex is saying, that
Yeah.
todo, igualito, como está el otro?
It's only a gate, it's only.
I was talking probably about a regular gate like the other ones that they stole. The horse gates, right?
Yeah.
And
The one that the mayor was proposing, that this,
Okay.
the one that Rosamond is proposing is like the one that has.
Mhm.
to match the new nice part. I don't know how much money they spend in that nice part, but I know it was probably a pretty good amount. And why do you wanna go with something that doesn't look, all that money spent on that
We
Mm-hmm.
one?
didn't go with the lowest bid the other day. What percent? And we're supposed to save money. I don't know.
I don't have the picture, but I have the quote. Do I have the picture?
No, but you saw the picture.
Yeah, I
on my
was
phone.
sorry.
That was-
But does the same guy who did the other gates is gonna come out the same?
Or whatever we do.
I make a motion to approve,
You wanna label it, permission, you wanna prove it? Very,
I understand, you know, and that Alex brought the picture, he shows me exactly what he wants, which is almost identical to what we already have. I don't have anything from you, but maybe in sometime in the future, we might even be able to close one of the other gates and just keep the two that are looking alike or similar open. I don't know. His quote is what?
1,215.
1,215. And that's going to be taken directly from the cemetery account?
and that's because that's a customized gate, that's why it's a little bit more pricey than a plain one.
And you say you only have a month to work with this, Alex? ¿Verdad?
No, but he gave us this code last month, but he should still. All he says that she knows him and he usually still willing to do it.
Does anybody want to say something about this particular issue dealing with the gate? Okay.
Looks like the one that has a lower bid, but yeah, I guess you do have to take into consideration the structure itself. I mean, is it a little bit more appealing than the other one? And that would justify, of course,
The cost.
the cost. And if you're looking at something to benefit or more or less, you know, kind of upscale a little bit.
I don't want to say the word beautify, but actually,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about saying, but I would say, yeah, if it's slightly more appealing, I mean, yeah,
and I
that
can
would justify
understand
the
that maybe
price.
Mr. Bernal would say something like, yes, a gate would be nice and built and everything would be fancy and beautiful, but the inside is what hurts when we see the downgrade, the way we don't keep up with the cleaning of our cemetery. Am I wrong with
That's
saying
what I'm
something
gonna
like
say.
that? Yes,
That's
I would
what I'm
like,
gonna say.
I would like for it to be beautiful, not only my eyes see it as I'm coming into the city or into a funeral, but when I go inside, I go, wow. This is a beautiful entrance, but look at what we have inside.
Yeah.
So how can we take care of that too? If we have money for a gate like this, then we have money to hire somebody that's going to be cleaning our cemetery the way it's supposed to be cleaned. That's,
It's supposed to be Mr. Martinez office, gonna do it again before Christmas. Right. Yeah,
Like me, every time, I know this town still needs a lot of work, but every time, to me, in my opinion, every time it comes to the park, the placita, the cemetery, I want it to look nice, represent the town, have something good to feel about. And right now, by it making it look nice, the inside part, that's just somewhat of getting the employees to like, get some kind of schedule or something for them to be able to go and do it.
now, when they do this gate, will you be using any of our employees for the city or?
No, that includes, he's gonna do it himself, that includes labor part, tools, everything. They're not, our employees are not gonna have to stop what they're doing.
Yeah, maybe looking at your budget, see what the total
Yeah.
budget, yeah, and
Well, in that account, right now, we have 11,000. The cemetery account.
I would go ahead and.
Oh, Mr. Bustamante motions to approve the gates, or you second? Everybody in favor, say aye.
Right.
Motion carries.
Update on fuel out for the month of November 2018.
Everything looked good.
Yeah, me too.
I'm fine with it. They look good.
It's been up in February, it's been celebrated week. From there. Getting to more fuel now. I saw it, and we don't ask.
Yeah, but there's more people using the vehicles too now than before.
Not really.
We filled up in October,
And we had.
and we still have gas, we still have 229 gallons.
Are all those small trucks not working right now, or is that they're having to use the duty?
No, they're using the small vehicle, the dually, they gotta go in again. Where they have problems with the dually, so they gotta go in again. Yeah, I have to my guy with some switch there for it to work. So honestly, I don't know how long that's gonna work, but right now it's.
I just say because Rudy's probably the one that spends waste the most gas besides the trash truck, but the trash truck, well, we know it has to drive all the way to Saturday, sometimes to the India back.
First program said about that, right?
No, it's.
Yeah, wow, that's good.
Okay, the next item.
Did we finish it? I can take an hour if I want to. Okay. Discussion of approval of city manager report.
Just a few items. Again, every month I have to review the contractual agreement, the payment agreements with USDA, engineer, and the attorney. They were here last week to do that. I already turned in the information that the 7-Eleven franchise was asking for. Metal Rio Grant did a great, did an awesome job with the reporting that they provided to us, to provide to them. So I already confirmed with 7-Eleven if they had received the information. They said yes, so we're just waiting to see what answer they're gonna give us. Met with the Metal Rio grant as well regarding this grant that Mr. Longoria presented. You already got the full details of that presentation. Assisted the auditor has finally begun the work for our 2017-2018 audit. Assisted him with just providing him with some financial records and information. And also I assisted with the completion of the documents needed in renewing the employee health insurance. and it's been renewed. The materials has been renewed.
I know last month in your city manager report, you mentioned something about wanting to put up some more pictures here in City, about some Miss Asherton
Yeah,
pictures.
they had asked about,
Pero we don't have space here, okay?
the thing is, I don't know, I mean, it's, I don't know how,
And you gotta buy the frames, we don't have frames.
Did somebody ask for, like a donation
Are
of
they
the
expensive?
pictures?
No, you go to the
for the
dollar
picture.
store.
No, never put that.
No,
Yeah, Walmart.
Walmart has expensive.
I mean, somebody had asked for, like if, we didn't use them or display them, that we could give them away to that person. Do you remember?
but the question was, what is the city gonna do with it?
Yeah, and people had one of our daughters or something like that. Did you want to say something?
I think that there's a relation to that person.
Yeah.
I think the comment was, well, if they're not, like,
Like, can I have it?
yeah.
What do you think?
I wouldn't mind having more memories here.
Because this is
We
the
only
only
got
place.
this, we can, about 3 or 4 there. At least 3, I said. And over there, another one. How many are there? I don't remember. I think it's about 7.
I mean, even there.
There's more.
Yeah, you kind of place that.
I think there's 7 or.
You can take a picture of the picture and make them smaller, like they're 8 by 10, and then just put them all in.
They're already.
Give them away.
They're 8 by 10 already?
Yeah.
They're 8 by 10,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I can, tomorrow,
They're
I
small.
can, maybe just
Put
put
them
them
all
on.
in one frame.
It's better putting them here than just having them in the box.
So about 20.
That's where they're at right
I
now.
think about.
No, and it's driving because it's like you say, this is the only place that holds memories for us now.
Yeah. There 1, 2, I think about 8.
We have a wall.
Y'all can set them up out there in the lobby,
I mean,
people
Yeah,
come in, they
there's
see
some
it.
space. I think we can fit them all.
Or I think they
Why
go
not?
with the class.
We'll look at it.
mm.
Yeah, you got some.
See how many we have,
Not too much
Yeah.
more.
to see how many, pictures we have.
Yeah, personal.
So
Yeah,
we
they
can
won't
see
be
them,
that.
put him, play them here and we'll figure it out, ¿dónde ponerlos? I think we need at least 2 in the entrance.
I guess somewhat of a second figure it out.
The interior designers.
I think we will.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do it tomorrow. That's it, Tony?
Yes.
Mr. Simon, what's that information that was requested by 711 franchise, 711 franchise?
7-Eleven?
Yeah.
They, some demographics,
So are they actually thinking, considering building here?
well, they responded, I mean, it took a while, on the fourth email that I sent them, they finally responded. So,
I always thought they went by population since they need enough workers to work at their store, but last time I went to Ensenada, they had 2 huge truck stops there, and that sounds smaller than ours.
I think it's because of the
The-
traffic.
Yeah,
that moves
it's
through here.
35.
So I guess population
You got
doesn't
35 over
Because
there.
if you remember when the one with the white wing came, también he
Yeah.
told us that maybe even a Dairy Queen franchise would open up.
A senator was interested, he went about the population and then,
And you know, at this point, anything that they can bring into town is more than welcome.
this one, senator,
so,
we need to look into it.
And I saw the sales report that came in this month, so it was pretty good. It was very good. Business.
I approve that.
Is that approved the city managers?
Yes.
Second?
Yes.
Mr. Zarate, second, everybody, favor say
Aye.
aye. Motion carries.
Discussion of board of body committee report.
Okay, actually, 5 EMS calls. We went to, that's it. One was on 11/20/18, Mr. Arturo, De Leon, first 3. The other one was for 11/25/18 from Mr. Zamora. Yeah, School Street. And the other one was on 11/26/18 for Ramon Rodriguez. So then Montezuma Street. And the other one was for 11/30/18 for Edna Navarro. And the other one for 12/11 for Mrs. Zamora on School Street. That was what I got. On fire, we had on 12/3, we had a call for a battery tank on fire. When we started, they canceled it, they said that under control, so we'll turn back. On 11/28/18, I drove in town, letting the people know that the water was gonna be turned off on Thursday the 29th. And then today, I drove around, letting all the people, well, not today, yesterday, that the water will be turned off. So we'll have some we'll have some water for the restroom at the fire station. We got all the trucks, we got all the maintenance, we got oil and filter. And on the 11/27, I and my assistant chief met with Chris Wood from the Texas Fire Service. And we talked and we're trying to see if we can get a four-wheel drive fire truck. So that's where we're at with him. And we did looking pretty good. On December 7th, I took the brush truck, the brush truck. We started having a little problem with it. Go in and, and we're going to figure it out. I took it to a mechanic here in town, and he said that one you have to check with the computer, but nobody here in town had a computer. So we ended up taking it to the depot here out of town, and they have the computer. They checked it for us, and they said there was a sensor that was on the bad. So I call Griffin Ford out of the welding, and I got it. I just went and picked it up today too. And so I came back and talked to them, and they're going to install it tomorrow morning. So it should be running. That's it on the trucks and all that. I did have we got some sirens from the total safety from Ralph. We got what did he give us? 10 or 11.
Quite a bit.
Yeah. The only problem is that they work out of a 12-volt system. And to be installing them like in different places, we're gonna have a different deal to make a converter, to make them work. House trip it's like having a battery charger. But they take a pretty good power, so we can't get those little things, any big ones. Or the easiest thing to do is from firing, run it, put it on top of the house, and it's got a control box. And from the control box, run some wires out of there, and have some like extension cord, and take the ends and put those alligator deals to put on the battery. And that will make them work. I thought maybe we could do those temporarily. Well, we could do, and for in case we have a tornado or something like that, for any emergency that we might have. At least I would like to have something. well, we got those now. Now, all we need to do is work on somebody who willing to help and say, well, put one in my house, and in case the weather comes, we can always call that person, hook it up. You know, all they have to do is open the hood, put it on their battery, and it'll take off.
Oh, okay, you don't put it to electricity like a.
No. He can explain better, you want to explain how they work?
These run off the 12 volts DC off of your pretty much your car battery. They're not made for AC for a 110 plug. We use them on remote locations. They're pretty loud. Have y'all tested them yet?
Yes, I have, matter of fact, I have one in the back of the pickup, just for testing it.
Ours is set up on converters, industrial size. That equipment's coming up, to a point where we're not gonna use it anymore. If it's available, I'll donate it as well to the fire department. So if I get more stuff, I'll donate more stuff to you.
For sure, I know we could put one on the city truck, the one that they use when they're on call.
Yeah,
They could just call them and they could.
I have that one already. I'm gonna put two on the fire station. There, we have a battery charger, so we can use that one, or hook it right off the truck, because that's where we're gonna be. We can just open the hood, hook it up on the battery, and it'll fine, have it there for a little bit, so that way in case bad weather or something's coming,
I would be willing to help. The only problem is that I wish there's another way besides having to connect it to my own car. Can I have a battery by itself on the side?
Yes, you can. That, what will work there would be a battery, and probably like a little solar thing that will keep your battery charged all the time. That would work.
So we could try to get people around town to.
Maybe later on we can, help them with all that. Well, we could put cable all the way down to the battery or whatever.
They sell little inverters you can buy like for your laptop that transform, AC to DC, so it wouldn't cost but $15-20.
You think one of those came from?
Yeah, because it comes out 12 volts.
Yeah, but an amperage. How about the amperage?
You'll be okay. If you buy the bigger one, you'll be okay. It's about $20.
Well,
we have.
because I think I have one in storage. I don't know if this should be for charging.
We got ours, but as soon as they become available, I'll bring them by.
Well, that's what we got, we're working on those, for later on, maybe hurricane, tornado season, all that stuff. I'm hoping by next year we'll get it.
That's good that you're looking ahead. You're not taking things for granted. You never know. One of these days, hopefully not, but we could get hit by something.
Yeah, well, it's like, yeah, we're trying to plan everything, the department, see what we need, where to go, and all that stuff, in case something like this happens.
Thank you for your report, Mr. Rosas. I can't wait to hear about that four-wheel drive fire truck later on. And
Yeah,
then
I'm hoping that I can get with them and see where we stand,
yeah,
and then I'll bring another report.
and then your sirens project, okay? Thank you so much.
And also thank you for helping the city announce around town.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Ms. Garza motions to approve.
Second.
Mr. Silva seconds. Everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The second approval of accounts receivable for the month of November 2018.
to approve it.
I second.
Mr. Monte makes a motion, Ms. Garza seconds, everybody in favor say aye.
Alright.
Motion carries.
Discussion approval of papeles for the month of November 2019.
That AEP, were we gonna get reimbursed that or no?
Yeah.
The 21,000?
Yes. As a matter of fact, this coming up,
They're gonna reimburse.
when they work out the payment agreement.
And that Mario's Electric, that one, why was it so much? Like 9,000.
Oh, that was, he's the one that, made the repairs on the motor that broke. He, rebuilt it.
Oh, so that's how much he charged to rebuild it and get it back going?
Either that or buy a brand new.
And Vulcan, that was the black time radio, and that was, the county brought it or they brought it?
No, they helped us bring it over here.
So if not, it would have been more. Where is that from, that company?
Well, it,
Oh, okay.
one going first.
And the city fence is already finished, right? Everything, he's been paid off and everything.
Motion?
No, without.
Did the auditor charge for some money up front or what happened?
Yes. For some of the work he's completed.
Oh, okay. So is he almost done or, you know?
My understanding, maybe, I mean, if I understand it correctly, maybe
One more
by
time?
next month, January, give or take.
So he'll be working pretty fast.
Yeah. Looks like he is. So-
Yeah, well, what? Because he said, whoever was doing the book did an excellent job.
So the auditor.
So you haven't had no issues getting him what he needs?
Nothing. He said, whoever's doing this job did an excellent job. So, he got everything he needs. Motion?
Mayor motions to approve, Ms. Garza seconds, everybody in favor say aye. Motion carries.
Discussion of approval of reconciliation report for the month of November 2018. Did you read that? Which is, from Mr. Lopez? Commission?
I remember when we first started, like, it's almost been, we're almost going on 2 years. You used to tell us that we were on the red, on the dark, on the numbers.
Yeah.
You have no longer been giving us those reports, and I know we're doing good.
We're doing
Very
very
good.
good.
We're paying $120 a meter on water, and no wonder we're doing good.
And hopefully by, once we set our first pay, then we could talk about lowering down those extra.
No, it's gonna take years,
Yeah, just,
What I'm hoping for is a better water for, for the residents. I hope it's a project que we pass. You don't have to hablar nada, que el agua está mugrosa or all this stuff. Just want to pray.
Yeah, no, but yeah. No, what I meant is like, right now, like Mr. Bernal said, we're receiving so much money in, but if we use it wisely and we send the loan in and the loan's only halfway, then it's possible that we could increase it a little bit more.
We have to send it, y no nos dan todo. We have to-
No.
It's, along the way, there could be changes, and hopefully those changes are for the good. But we don't know yet where,
Yeah.
Wait,
So our first payment's coming up in March,
February.
February.
and then the second payment
It's
is in August.
108,000, what was it?
And apparently the first year, I thought the first year would be higher, but it
No,
seems like it's
no.
gonna be a little bit lower.
Yeah.
And then after that, yes, we're gonna get a little bit higher, and they're gonna remain there for about, at least for a good five years, give or take.
But more than this, it's like 200,000 we'll be paying every year.
No,
No, it's a hundred and,
about
what?
108,
No? Yeah, 108
about 110,000
or 30.
around.
No, yes, but then they told us we also have to be saving up all that money, like, so when we finish the 40 years, we have all that saved up to where we
Don't
can
worry.
do everything without
Don't
taking
worry
out.
about it, we don't.
No, we're required to do that.
We're gonna be here.
The city never uses it,
But our kids will.
yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly,
But
that's do that.
Yeah, but that money is mainly
Maybe like you're on our kids. Well,
when
not mine.
systems start breaking.
And my grandkids.
But that, it's not if we want to do it or not, but we have to.
Yeah,
It's
it's
required.
it's a savings that, I don't know, I mean, in 40 years, that money's really, it's required so that when things start breaking, systems start breaking, and they will, probably within the next 15, hopefully not in 10 years, but within somewhere 10, 15, they will start breaking, and that's what the money is for. Yeah, that paint job that they did at the tower is really like a 15-year deal. I mean, if it lasts 30 years, that's wonderful. But it's supposed to be evaluated every 15 years and see where it's at. And if some of that work is if it's gonna require some work, which it might, then
The money's gonna be there too.
Like, in other words, there's gotta be money in there so that you can move it around, I mean, not move it, but use it when an emergency occurs, and we won't be stuck with an exuberant amount of money like we are now.
yes, having to take it from the revenue.
And not having a period, and we have to increase water rates and sewer rates and trash and everything else.
I think after so many years, people will get used to cleaning it. It'll
Yeah.
be part of the budget. But because of the all the gas and everything that's going up and down, you should always stay level and steady instead of going high and then, oh, we're gonna lower it because we're okay. So lower it, but then when you increase it high, they're gonna be upset again.
Yeah.
So let's just keep it all level, keep it all the same, and that way there'll be no problem. We'll get used to it.
Because like right now, it had been low for many years, and right now that we had to increase it, it was not a little increase, it was a big
Yeah, a
increase,
lot of
and
people upset.
it was hard for some people to get
I'm
the
glad to hear this, audience, that Bickles is going to do the same thing
Oh, yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
They're going to increase, and it's, they're gonna feel it.
Yeah, they have to.
The only thing wrong is, like Ms. Zavala was saying, that yes, I know that right now we have it at a steady, or we're already aware that we're paying so much. But I would hate to say what happens if this boom dies and a lot of our people will not be able to make that water payment, the $134 or $150, whatever it is that they pay, because there's no money coming in to the household. So let's just hope for the best and hope this oil and this people, the 7-Eleven, the dollar store, Valero, they all stay here so that we can,
Yeah. It's a big
That's a
help.
lot.
It's a big help.
You have to shop here first.
yeah, shop locally, please.
Shop local.
Approve.
No, I urge you.
Motion.
I make a motion.
Ms. Garza motions, can I get a second?
It don't matter.
Mr. Silva,
All in
all in favor, say aye. Motion carries.
Discussion approval of minutes for November 14, 2018.
I make the motion to approve.
I did too. I'll get them down, but they're in my car.
Everybody in favor, say aye.
You know, now they do everything computerized or whatever, email, whatever, and so I go make my copies so I can read it. I won't be in my phone like I can't see, so I make my copies and I read them, so I enjoy that too.
Public comments?
I got one. I was gonna ask you guys on the new city yard,
Uh-huh.
water the plants, go ahead and move everything over here instead of taking the rental place.
That's what it
We
said.
gotta get going.
When are you planning to spread those loads that they took over there?
Well, they just finished the fencing, so,
You know, it all finished last week, 2 weeks ago.
so we've had some big, major, minor issues with water and sewer. We're gonna have a short month. I doubt that we're gonna get it done by the end of this month, but January, coming in January,
We're
that,
working on a skeleton crew, everybody's on vacation.
Yeah.
How about hiring Sarino Cruz to spread it out? He's got a backhoe, or somebody else. You got that other guy, Carizo?
I know they usually charge like around 100 an hour.
Talk to that other guy, what's his name?
I think,
Up there, Carizo Hill by the high school, that junior high.
I would rather stay local.
Are we gonna need some kind of
Oh, yeah.
light?
Pero, como dices, if you find somebody cheaper in Carrizo, why are you gonna stay with local when we can get somebody cheaper?
Well, wait a minute, wasn't supposed, Mr. Jaime wasn't supposed to do that?
No, that was not part
No,
of it.
Part of the deal.
Or ask Mr. Jaime how much you charge
Yeah,
to
but
spread
we
everything
did,
out.
Raymond, Gomez, over there, and Larry nosotros.
Sabino did it.
Yeah, you all right, Mr. Gomez?
Did what?
Mr. Jaime?
I hired,
¿Verdad?
yeah, Mr. Jaime did, a
El
little
level
bit,
todo,
and then Sabino
vino.
finished, because I needed more fill.
How much, how
He
much?
brought in, I brought in fill, and then I hired Salino to lower, or level the final.
How much Mr. Cruz charging to us an hour?
280.
It's
About 70, 80 bucks
close
an
to
hour?
100,
100?
close to 100, but the thing is, the way I looked at it at the time, I could have gotten somebody, I could have either rented a backhoe and spread it out myself, or I could have hired somebody at a lower rate. The thing is, Mr. Cruz, he's very experienced.
Yeah.
So whatever you would be spending, as far as more per hour, you're saving because maybe somebody else that's less experienced might take
Will do it,
2.5, a lot more time, twice the amount of time, because, he is very experienced. I mean, I was
Yeah,
happy with the work
Camino's
he
an
did,
expert in
but
that.
there again, I'm not,
Because right now, we already have our own backhoe driver, but right now, like they said, it's already towards the end of the year, everybody's taking their vacations before they lose the vacations, and we're gonna be a little bit short-handed.
You can't do that.
So if we have any plans on moving in soon, we might wanna consider contracting to speed up the process.
and that was with me at the time, you know, so I don't know, depending on the workload, I don't know if he would be willing to negotiate another price or what. All I can say is,
That must, that's what she charges.
the time that I saved by him being that experienced, and like I said, I was really impressed. But I have no ties with him or anything, don't think that I'm advertising or soliciting.
No, but he
No.
said I can, Mr. Cruz, yeah.
And to put some kind of light there, we gotta put it on the agenda, or how does that work?
We need to participate, you know.
But I just say like if they ever have like we have a problem in the middle of the night and they have to go and get parts or get the truck, you don't want them to be with flashlights and all that.
yeah, it's ready there.
Yeah, I know it's a process, it's a process where you gotta set it up, you gotta wait for the inspection and all that.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Also, is that Kubota ready to go? With the shredder? They're working good?
Yeah.
All the tractors working good?
Yeah, it was, we bought the shredder, the Kubota had some, it gave up on us. Mechanic just said he did some of the repairs, so
It's working?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I do have two more comments. If it's not gonna take too long, I will try and make it real brief. Like on the tire collection, my concern is, do you have more or less some kind of a plan where, let's say, somebody doesn't abuse, you know, bring in contractors or
That's why whenever we approved it right now, I said according to the terms that we did, we had already gone through all those.
Yeah, 'cause who knows, my guess.
Yeah.
You fill it up, you know.
I'm
But
sure
same
we're gonna see some people with 10, 12 tires.
Yeah,
No, but as long as they're not the size that are not allowed in the trailer.
like a full trailer or, you know, I mean,
You'll bring it
yeah,
out.
you'll be able to gauge it. And another thing is, another one I was gonna ask is, I heard Mr. Rosa's concerns, or the discussion he had with sirens. I remember a few years back when Mr. Cordova was in office, I remember one of those meetings that they had when he was in office, that something about emergency plan for the city. That brought to mind what Mr. Rosas was talking about. Because we do have that well very right at the city limits, right by our neighborhood, Mr. Samante's back door, pretty much. So, the procedures like for emergency, hopefully nothing happens, you know, but just in case the emergency procedures for the town or for the city employees, how to,
When Mr. Rosa, when we were in the fire department, me and him, we had to have the siren was here, right, or the tower. And we had the meetings,
We had in the tower.
the tower, right. And like we're gonna bring it down, but there would be a good place to put one.
but
No, but
there
where
be
the
some
plan-
way of,
The city does have an emergency plan.
It's a recreational center where.
or maybe something like,
They said, like that,
printing out a flyer or some sort.
I don't know what exactly it is, but
Maria's the one who came to talk to us about that, remember?
it's through Demet County.
Yeah, we're connected, our connections
It's gonna count.
with the Demet County
Yeah. We
manager.
have one. What I made was the siren. You know, we used to in the meetings, I remember that it was like one or two for the meetings. And when there was a fire, depending on the area of the town.
Right now, we have two small ones.
You know,
Up on top, I don't know how far,
in the fire department?
on top of the fire
You
station.
haven't tried it?
Oh, yeah, no, I was one there.
Have you tried it out to para el pueblo? Todavía no.
Okay.
On the siren, do you have one that's workable that we may be able to?
So you say it's a small one?
The only one I have right now is on the pickup.
Oh,
For
okay.
example. I
But
mean,
anywhere, como right there at the fire station, there would be a good place to put up like a big siren.
because they're, well, I know they, I don't know if they still make those other ones.
Remember the one we used to have?
Yeah, those- Yeah, now everything's going to, you know, the,
Computerized technology, everything else.
yeah.
But like, who knows, maybe what you do have right now that you're planning on using will serve the purpose, and we won't need anything bigger than that. Like I say, maybe put one, maybe it's already working, go around town or something, so at least,
Well, even if, like Toledo, the one they got, in Asherton, I think if they would put one right there by the convention center, whatever, what is it, over there?
Civic Center, I mean, the
Up
event
on a
center.
pole, you know, like they have it, and they're loud. Well, they got Toledo, I think they're, like Saturday, they have on.
The one we had was loud,
Yeah, but those are the old ones that,
yeah.
those are good, but they were good.
Yeah. Right time he was out of town. And then locally, well, he only depended. We had a Pollo Valor Americano, San Luis, in the middle.
but there would there be some kind, like a plan, like if there would be a contact number
Yeah,
for people, yeah, to call,
Yeah.
see what's going
There's a
on?
plan, someone will,
Or if it requires evacuation of a certain area,
Yeah.
or,
yeah, I mean,
It's called a
we need to look
contingency
at
plan.
that.
It's called a contingency plan. We make them, but if you guys have one in place, then maybe I'll just have one posted somewhere. But,
Yeah, we need,
We have one.
let's get together, Mr. Rao, and we can discuss that. You and Rosas and me. And maybe see what we can come up to benefit,
We have one.
Hmm?
We have a contingency.
Okay.
Mr. Zamora has it.
You plan what to do?
This
Yeah.
is-
Can you
this is
post
not
it?
being
Like,
done.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all in connection with the county.
Yeah.
I remember them coming to talk to us about
You
that.
can have it,
Can you post it like in the office and everything? So.
Do we have a website to post it, stuff like that?
no, it's
It doesn't have a website.
Because other cities, they do have a website, they have all
Only
names of the
something nobody
employees,
knows.
contact information, emergency contact number.
I remember something like that, but that was through the middle, like the middle reel. They also came to make
There
some
was one when
presentation.
I think Mr. Goldman was.
we had a website package.
Somebody
But
was
we all-
using.
Let us talk about it. But Lola Rosas and me.
Yeah.
mentioned.
And make it known
Yeah.
for the public.
Yeah. Okay, anybody else?
Your motion, Mr. Ray? Mayor motions, Ms. Garza seconds, everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you all for coming.